Okay, so we're still on the galvanic treatment, and this is the older style machine, and there is one in between this, but it follows the same process. With this machine, the high frequency and the galvanic is in one unit. With the new machines that we have, there's a separate galvanic and a separate high frequency, so you have to have two machines. This one, it's in the two. This side of the machine deals with galvanic at high frequency, and this side of the machine deals with galvanic. So you would put the power button on there if you use in high frequency, and the power button on there if you was using the galvanic side. When you put the power button on, you will find that there is a light that tells you which side is actually working. So as you can see there, the green light comes on and the green light comes on. So you need to make sure that your intensity is all the way on 0 and there's no bars showing here. So if you think about that new machine, the bars was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. With this, it goes from green, dark green, to amber, to amber, to amber, and then it goes up to red, which is the highest intensity, which I've never used. So this is equivalent to that machine having the numbers. With this, you've got a dial. With that one, you're pressing the buttons with the other machine. Now this has 2 red wires, which quite clearly you can see here is 2 red outlets. So you know that those 2 red go in there. And it has a black wire, and you know it goes there. Don't worry about this outlet. This outlet is for the high frequency. Yeah? So this outlet is for the high frequency. These 3 are for the galvanic. Now you still have the 2 rollers. And you have the ball. It's one ball instead of a double. But they're all on their own hand pieces. And then you have the bar. The bar goes on the black lead. Okay? Now, on this bar, you would put a damp sponge. So you'd get a sponge, a facial sponge, put it under the tap, wring it out, and you would wrap it round there. And the client would hold that bar. So it is far more comfortable than the other machine where they're holding literally a roller or the double ball. So they're going to hold that. Now that allows you now to work with your rollers around the face. So you would be able to roll with 2 and do both sides of the face because they're holding the inactive one there. And you would cover the whole face for 10 minutes, just like you did with the other machine. You would then put one down, you would reach over and you'd turn your intensity down. Now, as for the intensity, with this machine, you have one rolling like before and you would go up and you would ask them if they can feel sensation. Now, because metal is quite cold, it can take a little while for the sensation to come through. So you would then, if they say no, still can't feel anything, you would go up again and you would carry on until you've got to a level where the client says, yep, I can feel that now. The moment they say that, go down by 1 bar. Because if these are cold and they can feel it, it's probably a little bit too high. So go down by 1 bar. If they still can't feel it, then you can go back up again. But it's safer to go down by 1 bar. Now, this is where the difference lies with the polarity switch. When the switch is on minus, it will say red. When the switch is on green, it will say plus. Now, with the other machine, we was using plus to feed and minus to drag out. With this machine, you're going to use the opposite because they're not holding a specific roller or ball now. they're holding the actual bar. So you are going to, for desincrustation, for dragging out, you're going to have it on plus. For iontophoroses, for feeding, you're going to have it on minus. So this is how this machine will work. It's the exact same. You're going down in intensity at the end of the treatment, all the way down, and then you can remove it. You would take the disincrustation gel off. You would put the specific galvanic gel on for their skin type. You would change the polarity to minus, and you would once again go back up until the client says that she can feel it. She'll feel it much quicker now. As soon as she says she can feel it, go down 1 bar and continue the treatment for the whole face. And just to recap, if the client's got oily skin, problematic skin, and they need more deep cleansing than feeding, it's going to be 10 minutes on the plus with the disincrustation gel. You're going to take that off. You're going to put the Iontophoroses gel on, the galvanic gel for the skin type, and you're going to close the pores and soothe the skin and push in active ingredients for their skin type for 5 minutes. If the client came in and they had the dry skin, you would still start on the plus for disincrustation, but you'd only do that for 5 minutes. You'd get the disincrustation gel off, put the gel on that they needed for their skin type, and you would do the feeding part, the minus, for the 10 minutes, because that was their priority.